Okay, hello there, bumpkins. You are a Cancer, correct?
I am, amongst other
You are
things.
a Cancer. You are one of the few good-looking poly men that I have met, because a lot of them be looking like Biggie Smalls and Forrest Whitaker's child, and that is not good. But you have okay. Let me stop fucking around. Let me stop. I'm perpetuating negative stereotypes about our community by saying that ain't nobody looking good in the community. Well, the men particularly ain't looking good. But anyway, I've been knowing this man for a very long time. I think it's been over 10 years now. I think I met you around 2015 or some shit like that. So you are a businessman. I met you at a studio promoting, I think, the ATL orgy. Yes, that's when I met you in the studio
Yes,
with
in the Queen
Lashana. Do you
City.
remember my baby Lashana?
Yes, I know China. Braswell.
That's my baby. I love her. That's my fellow Pisces. I love her. So let's go ahead and, so anything else you want people to know about you before I get into my very obscene line of questioning?
Well, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of facets to me. I'll probably have to do a whole nother show to share everything. But outside of just being poly, I'm a father. I've been a husband. Um, I've uh, I've had businesses since I was elementary school. I've been a serial entrepreneur, um, activist, and working in the community since I was young. Uh, and I started on this poly journey at the end of my second marriage, probably back in like 2010, 2011. And in 2011, in winter solstice, a retreat I attended as help. I met Kenya and Carl and a host of others. And that's what my life trying to kind of change since then. It's definitely evolved. And man, I'm a lot of things. I like to think that I'm a universal soul. I've touched a lot of things. I've done a lot of things in my life, as far as businesses, traveling, people, and I'm just right now. I'm still looking. I'm always looking for the next venture. I'm always looking for growth in myself and pushing myself further in what it is that I do. So I have a couple of businesses. I have a painting company. I do renovation. We have a jewelry business, me and my brother, and soon to be getting off into some other things. And I don't know. I'm just right now. I'm in a place right now in my life where I've taken the last 3 years since my last marriage to kind of focus on me and give myself some time to kind of reset and rebuild. So here I am.
Well, I love that, but I think I want to ask a couple of questions that I know everybody's wondering. Everybody wants to know what is the condition of your balls right now. Are your balls lanky, or are they tight, or are they slanky,
You want to say?
soggy? You got one of your women. Okay, so lady, let me know the condition of the balls. Are the balls tight? This is very important. I can't continue on with the thing if I don't know
I
about the
think
balls.
them
So
balls are not tight.
are
They definitely hanging. They definitely dropping right now. They ain't tight. Listen, this Sydney Green. You gotta understand. You know who Petey Green is? Well, this Sydney Green. This the male version. This the male version. I mean, the female version, should I say?
who was Pete?
You don't know who Petey
I
Green
don't know
is?
who Petey Green is,
You
but
gotta go find who Petey
I
Green
don't.
is.
What's the movie? It ain't called Talk to Me.
Go
Okay,
look
but
up
I want
Petey
to
Green.
get back to you.
He was a
So
radio host, I think back in the 80s, 70s. He was a real outspoken brother, controversial. He had a radio show.
They made a movie about him. Don Cheadle.
Yes.
Called Talk to Me.
Yes. Yes, that's right. Petey Green. Yeah. Yeah, Petey Green. This
that's
Sydney
really
Green right
wonderful. Now back to you. Now the ball
here.
condition. So you said the balls are soggy and lanky and slanking. Are they slanking?
You ain't gotta come on the camera. No, I'm just playing. Hey, look, it's cool. They definitely is hanging. They ain't right.
Okay. So what length are they hanging? Are they kind of going towards the kneecaps? Are they close
Definitely.
to the kneecaps, or are they more toward the inner,
I would say
the mid?
probably. I mean, I don't know. I never measured how far my nuts hang, but they definitely got some length to them. I would say probably about 3-4
Okay.
inches, maybe.
So they slanking. So Rakim Saku said his balls were dangling and slanking. And so that makes me think maybe your balls, so it's just so they're stretching. It's some skin that's stretching, and then you have the weight of the ball. So they're slanking. So they have a little bounce to them. They
A little
slanking.
bit,
Would you say they're slanking?
a little bit, a little bit. I would just say we just chilling right now. We hanging out.
But how do
My
you know
balls is
without
straight.
touching your balls? I've always wondered that. Like, how do you know if you ain't touching them? You can just kind of feel what they're doing.
Oh, you got to give a nut check sometimes. You can't always determine, because it's like when you've been living with your boss for 49 years, they you don't always, sometimes you got to do a check-in, you got to do a nut check. You got to make sure you got your balls with you, you know? So I
Because you
did a
can
nut
left them.
check and
Because
my
if they're
balls is
long,
definitely with me.
well, right. I like how you said that you have to make sure they're with you. Because if they're long, they can be dragging behind you, and you have to kind of maybe throw them over your shoulder or something, make sure that they're there.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Yeah. So how are your balls smelling right now? What
Fresh and
aroma do
clean.
they have?
Got a little bit of
Are you just
sage, a little
saying
bit
that
of
because
peppermint, a little bit of. I just got out the shower. They might got a little bit of oud or something on them. You know, I like to take care of myself. I like to cleanliness is next to godliness. So I like to adore myself with oils and fragrance and all that good stuff. You know, it's nothing like a good smelling man.
so the woman that's there, she can confirm that your balls are smelling oody? They're oody.
Think she can confirm. Have you ever smelled my balls before? Smell pretty good. She gave a thumbs up.
Well, she should sniff them right now. She should just do it right now. She not on camera. She should sniff them right now because we don't really trust you. She should sniff them right now so we can have that on video.
Hey, let's
That
put a
your
word out
balls are
there.
smelling like lemon grass and
All the women out there
whatever.
in the world who smell my balls, let's do a poll right now. I'm sure it's a woman that's gonna see this video that has smelled my balls before, and let's ask them if they smelled or not. How about that?
Okay, right on. So, all right, okay. So, are your balls shaved or are they furry?
Mm, I don't have fur. I'm half hair. You know, we grow hair. We don't grow fur. So no, they're definitely hairy balls. Definitely hairy balls.
Okay, hairy. Okay. So, is the hair looking like burnt quinoa or is it looking,
No, it's looking
straight
fair. You see this hair
Asian
right here?
like?
Yeah, Asiatic.
Okay, so
Definitely
your ball
Asiatic.
hair is straight.
We say absolutely. The balls in the dick is in check. Any more questions?
Well, the dick is very inappropriate. I don't like to speak about penises because that's very inappropriate. I like to keep it with the
Really?
balls.
Well, the balls is good. Balls is fresh.
Just,
I
okay, but
personally,
we have to have anytime
I
we have men
personally,
on my show.
well, me personally, I like to make sure that my balls is clean, and my body is clean, and my house is clean, and everything is clean. Because like I said in the beginning, cleanliness is next to godliness. So you always got to make sure you clean, if you know what I mean.
I understand. So I don't remember sniffing your balls. I don't think I sniffed your balls when I was with you, but
Don't stiff my
I
balls,
do
no,
remember you are the first person in the world to make me come by eating my pussy. And I've been waiting to get you on here to just announce that to the world. That you are and I was 26 years old. You are the first person that performed the cunnilingus on me and blew my eyebrows off. And I want you to know that it's lipstick on my eyebrows to fill in the spot because I have had bald spots ever since you got a hold of my clitoris with your lips and your pink muscle member, which is your tongue. And
Yes.
it has been a challenge for me to not look like I mange around the eyebrows because you blew them off. So once you blew them off, I couldn't really get them back right ever since. I just want you to know that that's your fault. How do you feel
I'll
about that?
take all the credit. I'll take all the credit for that.
Oh, so
You know,
you just okay with, so you okay with my being fucked up because of you? You like that? That's okay.
that's okay. But you don't got to be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be fucked up, Sydney. You know, I would just say this. Before I ate your pussy, you told me that you never came from somebody eating your pussy. So in my mind, I couldn't conceive how that was possible. I've never been able to make a woman come with I've never been not able to make a woman come with my tongue. So I was just kind of confused as to why that was happening. I don't understand it. Can you explain?
Well,
Can
because
you explain the
men get
difference?
down there and they
Can you
just push
explain the
their lips
difference
out.
between
So
what I did and what those guys did? I'm curious because I'm just a little bit, I just can't believe that.
most dudes get down there and they do something called pooching their lips out. And that's what I call, and I got that from a dude named Bruce, who is I met him at 18. Shout out to Bruce Moore. He called it getting out there and pushing their lips out, which means they just ain't doing shit. So they got the little weak lizard, some dudes be licking pussy like a retarded albino autistic baby lizard, which means that the tongue, you can't feel it. It's thin. It's thin. They ain't doing shit. A lot of dudes don't really like eating pussy. They just kind of think they need to get down there and do it so they can get some head. So you got that. Then there's just no skill. It's just no skill. But I actually can empathize with that because vaginas are overly complicated. I don't have time for all of the moving parts of vaginas. But it was this one dude that was licking between the clit and the hole. What the fuck is that? Why are you focusing there? It's just a lot of, and then niggas be down there looking like a pit bull and shit, doing nothing. Woman, why the fuck are you looking like the goddamn pit bull from the DMX video? Why are you doing that? You just ain't doing shit. Spitting, throwing up, just ain't doing shit. And I'm a
I never
sexual
spit
liar.
on a pussy.
I
I
talk
don't
about that
think
in my
I
book.
ever. Why would you spit on a pussy? I want to know that. I don't think I ever spit on a woman's pussy before. I don't know why that's necessary.
I think it's supposed to be sexy.
I
It's supposed to be.
I think that it's porn that is promoting a lot of this activity because I don't know. To me, when you connect with a woman, when you put your mouth on a woman, it is something that is like it's a sacred event. It's very sacred. It's not something that you play with. So, I mean, I don't understand why they playing around in the pussy. To me, it's to me, every extension of your person, your hands, your mouth, your lips, your whatever, everything is a tool. And it's like, as men, we got to learn how to use all our tools. And I don't think porn, I think I see that a lot in porn, but I'm never like, like to spit on something that's disrespectful, first of all. So to me, I would never want to spit on a woman's yoni, vagina, pussy, whatever you want to call it. It's like, man, it's like you paying homage
I
to your
understand.
creator where you came from. So to me, it's like I'm connecting the source. So it's not nothing like it's like it's something that you do, but you have to have intention when you're doing it. And I don't know what other people are thinking, but to me, that's like, it's even greater. It's like when you have intercourse with a woman, but to put your mouth on a woman is something like, that's an extra level shit. So that's like the paying homage, that's paying, like, um, that's just a sacred. That's something to me that's you don't play with. I don't know. Some people play. I don't play in the bedroom, so
Well, you did not
I
play
don't
with
know
my
what they
labia.
doing, but
You did not. You didn't play with that. And I love you
no.
for it. I love you for it. So to answer your question, it was just, and I remember head was just something that I just needed a nigga to do so that I can report back to my friends that they ate my pussy. So it's kind of like, you can't be telling everybody, hey, fuck it, not getting your pussy ate. So you got to go tell your friends. Because the
You
first thing
did
he
tell
gonna
your
say,
friend. You
I got
told
that
your
from high
friends.
school. And when I started, you got to go tell your friends, he ate my pussy. You can't be saying I was sucking dick and giving a pussy and you ain't get your pussy ate. So it was just a formality for me for a while. I liked the idea of it. I had the best, most amazing. Okay, it's two things. You were the first one to make me come, but I had an experience that was just fucking euphoric when I was 18. Bruce, the same dude who told me about pushing the lips out. But basically what I'm getting at is with you, when you said you was going, I told you that, and I don't know if you announced that you was gonna make me come. I think you just kind of did it. I don't think you said anything.
No,
But
you never really do that because you never really when I don't never approach a situation because you can't make a woman come. You can help a woman come, but you can't make a woman come. I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying, but the woman
break
already
it
got to
down.
be. You have to create a space to where a woman feels comfortable and free to let herself be, if you will. You have to make a woman really comfortable when you're trying to explore that part of her, if you will. So the more you comfortable you can make a woman prior to getting in it, prior to doing any an extracurricular activity, I think that is really the key. It's not so much about technique or what you doing in the bedroom, how big your dick is, and all that shit like that. Don't have nothing to do with it. It's about how you comfortable you make the woman feel, and I think that's the key to set a woman free. If they feel comfortable with you, then you're gonna experience things with them that probably they never experienced with anybody else. Because a lot of people try to dominate
Well,
women in the bedroom, and it's not about domination. It's about collaboration. To me, when I approach because really, you can have the biggest dick in the world, but a woman can have a baby. So you ain't putting no 8-pound dick in a woman. So you cannot, it's not about domination. It's about collaboration. It's about making a woman trust and feel comfortable with you before you even get into the bedroom. And I think that's something that we had. Maybe it was subconscious, but I think that you trusted in me for whatever reason, and you allowed me to explore that part of you. And I'm always grateful for women that allow me to enter into their lives. I don't take that for granted because it's just like it's just not about eating pussy, but it's about paying homage to the feminine energy to where we all came from. So, sex to me is it's not just physical, but it's spiritual. It's like an act of God. It's not something that you just take lightly. And I think that's the
well, I
difference.
would.
So most men are just out there, they just in it for themselves. They don't understand the benefit of an orgasmic woman. You know what I'm saying? If you have an orgasmic woman in your life, you can create a lot of beautiful things. So that's to me, I think that's I like to see women as sexually free. I don't like to see women bound and restricted in no type of way. And even man too. I don't want to see nobody restricted and bound. But,
So I want to come
you
back to the. Go ahead.
uh, you in particular, when we first met, and it was crazy how we first met. You was in Charlotte, and when I happened to be around to be able to come to the studio with you and do the interview with you. And I don't know, like I just feel like when we first met, I just seen a lot of myself in you because of the things that you were representing and, how you were showing up for the women and for the feminine, because I think a lot of women have been sexually repressed and they don't really get the chance to explore their sexuality fully without being judged. And I'm not about that. I like to see women free. I like to see women being a true self, because I know what they are and I know what I am. So for me, when I met you, I saw something. I saw a greatness in you, really, to be honest, because you was bold, you were raw, I felt like you deserved that shit. Like that all the energy that I put into you, I feel like I wanted to see you take that energy and grow and be the woman that you are today. So that's how I deal with when I give my energy out. You know what I'm saying? I plant my seeds in good soil, and I saw you as good soil, and what you're doing and the work that you're doing and, what you represent. So I wanted to honor that. I wanted to be a servant in that, serving in the feminine, because I think a lot of men have gotten away from that because for various reasons, but I think that as men, we have to hold space for women like you because y'all are rare. Not, you know, a lot of women are still hiding, they still hiding. But when I see women that are out there that's standing on the truth and they open, they not on no book. They not stuck in this fantasy. They dealing with reality. And I like that. I appreciate that. So yeah. That was
Oh,
to
well, I
me.
appreciate you, boo boo.
And I don't really I haven't really, like, you was younger than, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really deal with younger women. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So,
wait. Okay, so I'm 36, and you said you 49.
yeah,
What is that? That's 20. That's 13 years apart.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I like something a little older. You know what I'm saying? There's something about it. I mean, I got a couple of fetishes around that. I kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but you said a lot there, and I want to, number one, thank you for giving me my flowers. I love my flowers. I love my flowers. I love them. You know what I'm saying? Free women, have to find very special people to be able to see them and to give them the praise. So I never knew you felt all that. Now that's the first time I heard a lot of that. Now again, I've been knowing this man for over a decade now. We spent countless amount of hours on the phone, but I've never heard you say that. Now I didn't know all of that. You know what I'm saying? That you saw myself and yourself and me. I didn't know any of that stuff until now. So I think that's really special. And I really do appreciate that. But you were the first one, and I remember to making me orgasm. And of course, it was comfortability because we've been talking for a long time. And you're solid. You're consistent. You consistent. You reliable. If you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it with your best foot forward. I really don't see a lot of like flaws really in your personality. Like, I mean, but I haven't like lived with you or anything like that. So therefore, it's another level to knowing you that I haven't gotten. But as far as what I know, I can't, like, you've always treated me with the utmost respect. So I have nothing negative to say about how you treated me. Now, it's Karonda and Rhonda and them down the street, they may be like, them motherfuckers a motherfucker. But for me, I
Yeah.
don't have that. You've always been honest. You've been honest with all your women, including me and all that stuff. So I really do appreciate that. But yeah, you were the first one to do that. And
Well,
that was pretty cool.
I'm gonna say this because this is on the record. Because I don't want people to think that when I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect man. I've made mistakes. I wasn't always forthright. I haven't always been honest. I have withheld information. But at the end of the day, I've done more good than bad. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I recognize that in this world that we live in today, in my experience with women, is that women are very special, but they have been repressed in the society that we live in. And they haven't been able to they haven't been able to have the real freedom and the openness to express themselves fully because of certain systems and religion and things of that nature. And I think that I really truly understand women and their nature because I've dealt with all types of women since I was a child. I've always had women in my life that have poured into me and in many ways. And I see the evolution and of everybody. But, we only grow as far as our women. You know what I'm saying? Because the women are the creators. They the first. You know what I'm saying? That's where we all come from. And the more that we can come into balance and allow our women to express themselves and be free and allow them to be who they are without judgment. Um, you know, that's a beautiful thing. But at the same time, there's different levels to this shit that we living through right now. So I'm just grateful that the women that I've touched in my life. I feel like I've been very blessed to be able to share energy and share space with all the women that I've been in contact with. And I look forward to the day when, all of the things that we're dealing with right now with this gender wars and the things that we're dealing with in society, I'm looking forward to the day where we can be in peace and harmony and everybody can have their needs met and nobody got to hide who they are and, lie and cheat and all that bullshit that we do, you know. And so I'm grateful for
So
you.
I wanna you saying some good shit. I wanna kind of get deep into a couple of different things that you said. So when you say you see a woman's true nature, I say all the time that a lot of people, regular people, ordinary motherfuckers, basic people, and that's the majority of the population. That's 98, 99% of the world is basic and stupid. So it's only
Yes,
like probably 1% of the population that understand what we're talking about right now. So when
yes,
you say that you understand the nature of a woman, I think that that's beautiful because a lot of women don't even know the nature of women. And then when I say people, notice I didn't say 90, most men are stupid. I said most people, including women. So what I'll say is,
true.
as you just got done saying, religion and patriarchy has suppressed, oppressed, and repressed the woman, especially when it comes down to their sexuality. So a lot of these podcasts and shit will say, well, a real woman, the nature of a woman. Motherfucker, you don't know the nature of a woman. And the reason why you don't know the nature of a woman is because women are just now starting to get a little bit free in this world. So therefore, and to think that you know the nature of any group or any person or any species, male, woman, or any sex without until they've been free means you're stupid. You don't know anything about anything unless the person is free. Let a motherfucker be free and you know who they are. Let a
Yeah,
motherfucker do what they let them be.
absolutely.
When a person's free to do
You
what
don't
they
know
really want,
you don't know
that's
a
the end.
woman until you don't really know your woman until you allow her to be free. You would be surprised. Most men would be surprised what they woman would do if they just took back the reins and just allowed them to move how they choose to move. And for me, I don't like restriction for one. So I'm gonna put some restriction on somebody else because I always know what's for me is for me, right? Because I don't want to chase no woman. I want the woman to choose me. Because when you chase a woman, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, as a man, you compromise a lot of things when you chase a woman. But when you allow women to come to you, that's when you know it's true to me. If I'm just chasing a woman or whatever, I'm trying to position myself to be in a woman's way or whatever, because I'm interested in her, I want to have sex with her, whatever the case may be. I just feel like the more that you, as a man, um, as you cultivate yourself, I think that women should be the ones choosing, not the man. I really do. I really think it'll cut a lot of bullshit out the game because women already know what they want. They know automatically what they want sometimes, but they might not always move on that. But I like to, I like to be chosen instead of being a chooser, if you will, because
Okay, so
I
let's
feel
go
like
back to what you said a minute ago about free women. So let's go back to free women. So a lot of like we both agree on, if a person or a group of people have been oppressed, you don't know their true nature. You only know the true nature if they really are free. And by free we mean absent of negative consequences of an action, like they or whether it's received negative consequence or whether it's a real negative consequence. We cannot be talking about what our grandparents and what our mamas and them did. Them women were not free. They couldn't just say, you nigga, your dick ain't good, I'm gonna get another dick, because you don't have bank accounts and all that shit without the man. So now that we're seeing more of women being free, you're seeing them be more sexually open. We're seeing them. Look, I don't give a fuck what you think. I want more than one boyfriend. We're seeing a lot of that now. And that's the true nature of women, is to be non-monogamous. It's a myth that women are these monogamous creatures. And a lot of women will argue that without even the brainwashing and the mind fuck is so deep that they haven't even fathomed
the
anything else. It's kind of like saying that and it's not because it's your nature, it's because that's how the fuck you've been brainwashed. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing natural about monogamy. And women often will beg for monogamy only to report being bored with it faster than men are, only to report faking orgasms, only to report being underfulfilled and just unhappy and stressed out with the weight of trying to be all of this to this man, when he just needs to go and have another woman, you need to get some other men. These marriages will last a lot longer. So now that we're getting more into the non-monogamy of it, you are very adamant, because I've actually come to be like, I got this married dude. I'm thinking he shut it down every time. Like he feels like fucking around with married people is only cool if the other person knows all about it, which I understand. However, I'm not going to act like I ain't never done it the other way, because shit, a character in my book, August, was married, still is. You know what I'm saying? His wife didn't know nothing about it. So I want to know about your transition. So did you start off like most of us, in the monogamous mind fuck? And if you were, how did you transition out of that into being more non-monogamous?
All right, so my story is kind of interesting in that when I was younger, like let's say like high school age, right? I had I was I had a lot of girlfriends, like middle school, high school. It was a few that stood out in my life that I always loved women, like ever since I could far back as I can remember, girls, whatever, right? So, but when I would say when from middle school to high school into my adult life, I got married right out of high school. So I graduated in June 1996. I was married the next month, living on my own in my own house and everything. And one of the things that I could just remember growing up.
What happened?
All right, yeah, my mom was calling me. So I just remember growing up and I I don't know. I've always been attracted to women, like all types of women. And growing up, when I let's just say when I decided that I was going to get married, right, I was like maybe like 17, something like that. I thought that I knew what I wanted, and I got young pretty early. I got married. What I should I say? I got married like right out of high school. And I had a ready-made family. And during that time, one of the things that I discovered in that first marriage that I had, like I realized I might have made a mistake because I started to meet other women and like much maybe older than my wife. Shit. Some of the women that I met growing up, it's my mom's age, right? And I was like, I was like, they was showing up in a big way in my life, and I realized in that first marriage that I think I had made a mistake, and I was going to church, I was doing all the things that a good man's supposed to do, taking care of my family, you know, paying the bills and being a father and all of that stuff, and when I would say maybe I got married when I was 19. Right. I graduated
Hold on,
high
hold on.
school.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I got to get some. Hold that
Huh?
thought. Hold on. I got to get some. I got to get some. Hold on. Oh, shit. Okay, we gonna edit that part out. Okay, go ahead.
So I got married young, pretty young, and I was married to a woman that was pretty couple years older than me. But what I realized that in that marriage, I realized that as much as there was a lot of things that I was looking for at that time, like I think I realized that I was kind of like, I wasn't necessarily in love. I was looking for a mother. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have that closeness with my mom at the time and growing up that maybe young men have. So I was looking for that shit outside of my household. I ended up finding an older young lady that was pouring into me in different ways or whatever. And I thought that was what love was, right? But as I grew in that marriage and I realized that maybe I should have given myself a little bit more space to grow, at the end of the marriage, I started cheating and all of that kind of shit that men and women do. But the thing about it was that my conscience, my heart was not in a good space because I never been a good liar. And in that space, I realized that I had to cut that situation off so that I can grow into something greater. And in my second marriage, I remember one day I was at a lunch. Me and her we used to meet at this restaurant, and I remember her telling me that, it was going to be a lot of women in my life. And I couldn't understand why she would tell that to me. I didn't understand why she would say that to me. Because I did like her. I had a lot of respect for her. I had a lot of, like, she was fucking, you know, before she was 30, she had, $1 million in property. She was real successful in what she was doing. And I felt like, damn, my man, I got this woman that's, basically a millionaire on paper. And she fucking with me. I'm like, I don't even know how old I was. I was probably like 26, 27. But at the same time, she's telling me I need to focus on myself, focus on my kids, and get myself together as a man, you know? And she was the first woman that really, I remember at the end of our relationship, after baby being together like 7 years, she was so focused on rebuilding her empire, if you will, that she knew that she wasn't really putting the time in with me and with the kids or whatever. So I remember I told her I have fucked around with this massage therapist that we both knew. And she didn't even blink. She was just like, and did you use a rubber? And that was like I was like, wow, like she wasn't arguing about it. We wasn't fighting about it. She just was like, okay, I know that I'm busy over here and I can't fulfill the things that you need. So you could just go do what you need to do. Just use protection. And that was like the first time. No, that was the second time. Because even at the end of my first marriage, my kid's mom, she was like, I don't care if you be with other women, just don't leave. But the situation, I knew that I had to leave. And so here I am again in my let's just call this the second marriage. And at the end of that, I make a confession because I've never been a good liar and tell my wife about the situation with this young lady. And she just like, whatever, like, and then do what you got to do. Just don't bring no shit home to me. And I was just like, and at the same time, I got introduced to Osho and I started to, a lot of the things, a lot of his lectures I started listening to, and they just started resonating with me regarding like love and relationships and family and all of that stuff. And it just made so much sense to me. And I was just like, man, we here on this earth, and we here to connect and build. And what they say, be fruitful and multiply. And this was a the first time that I have really ever heard anybody speaking like this. And if you listen to Osho lectures, you will know what I'm talking about. And so I don't know, it just made so much sense to me. So after that, it's right before I met Kenya and Carl and Hasina and all the other beautiful women that I connected with and brothers, along the way that kind of like, imparted wisdom into me, knowledge into me. That's kind of helped me to be the man that I am today. So,
Was it good?
huh?
No.
What'd you say?
My sister was, I was checking my sister.
Hey, Sydney, Courtney.
You mean Courtney?
Yes.
She probably can't hear you.
Hopefully, got them C's on y'all. But the thing about it was, I just felt like I don't know, I just felt like I've had a calling on my life. And this this type of lifestyle is not new, but I just felt like with the connections that I made and the people that I came across, I just feel like I know that I personally was put here to share this wisdom to help to, raise the vibration, if you will, on the earth when it comes to relationships. We've been taught that one man, one woman, but I think that serves its purpose. But I don't want to limit myself because of the things that I've been shown and the things that I've experienced in my life. And I just feel like as a man, we have to be open to not just one, but many. And that's something that
Okay,
came to me.
so I have a question about that since you said the man. So do you have an issue with your woman having other men?
No,
Why do
I don't.
you? Because a lot of people will say you're a cuckold, you're a beta, you're weak, you're gay, or you're not a real man because you
No,
support your woman getting other having other relationships, other sexual partners. What do you
No,
say
I
to that?
think that's a small-minded way to think. And I think that just like man, we need to experience the love and affection and the lessons that come from having women. I mean, there's more women on the earth than men, so it's always been that way.
No, no, no,
So
no, 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 no. I have to correct you. I have to correct you. It's actually not. It's more men on Earth than women. It is globally. It is about 51% men and then 50% women. But if you're talking about America,
really?
then this kind of is in. Yeah, you can Google it right now. Ask ChatGPT right now. Globally, I already looked it up. Globally
Okay. So
has
whatever
more.
the case may be, we know that everything in nature is no male egg, is no male seed in nature. Everything is feminine first. So ladies first. So whether it's more man or more women or whatever, the thing is that me, I feel like I'm not just here for one person. I'm here to experience life fully. And I don't want to have to be put into box as to how that's supposed to look because my love is infinite. I don't have I don't have a blockage on that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do. You know, some people make parameters and things of that nature, but I don't believe that that's the way that it should be to, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, I'm, I've done the one woman, one man thing. I've done that. But for me, I don't think that that's a natural way to be. I think that that serves its purpose and that's a beautiful thing. But ultimately, I think that we're here to serve humanity, not just one person.
Okay, but specifically, like, why are you okay with your woman having other men? How does her having other men
Well, I
support
look
you?
at it like
How does
this
that
because
for you?
I
Why
started,
not
I,
just
s-
be why not just be a polygynist? Why not just say you get all of the women and the women all gotta be monogamous to you?
no, I don't think that's, for one, you can, as one man, one- as one man personally, I just don't think that from my experience, I just don't think that that's sustainable. I think that people eventually will want to experience something different. And so for me, I was born on the fifth, right? I plead the fifth, right? So five, if you study numerology, right? So five people are about freedom. So I feel like women have been suppressed throughout the course of time. And I think that women should be free to choose whatever they choose, just like me. If I want to choose to be with multiple women, why shouldn't a woman be able to do the same? And you know who taught me that lesson? My grandmother was the first person to teach me that lesson. She
Your
would say,
grandmama, you should grandmamas don't be with that. What do you mean your grandmama was
my
out here
grandmother
just
used to say this, what's good for the goose is
Mhm.
good for the gander. And I learned that lesson. I learned that lesson probably middle school, high school. So, I had the utmost respect for my grandmother, but I realized my grandmother, I got an uncle from my grandfather that's younger than me. Because my granddaddy was still making babies while he was married with my grandmother, but she wasn't a mother. And that was a big thing. And I remember that was a big issue when I was a little kid. And, my grandmother she had other men around, but I didn't know that till I got well, maybe like 17, 16, high school, when my grandmother set me down and kind of gave me the game. And I remember her telling me that specifically. And it's like, I know that I ain't got everything that a woman might desire. It might be another brother out there that could elevate her and teach her and give her something that I can't.
Okay.
And
Okay,
who
yeah,
am
yeah,
I
yeah. I
to
like it.
try
Let's stay
to
there for a
control that, stop
let's stay
that?
there for a second. Let's stay there for a second. So a lot of men, they feel like, because I mean, even Amarian from B2K was saying that, he wants multiple women, but he doesn't want a woman that wants multiple men because, whatever he can provide everything, he can do that. And that's always just a retarded way of
Ego
just
tripping.
looking
That's the ego
at
talking.
yourself. And it's ego, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's so much arrogance that comes along with that. And it also, I do not believe, I don't care how people try to twist it, you cannot say that and say that you also care about those women. You don't care about them. Rakim has said that. It's no other way to twist it. You don't care about their true happiness. You don't care about their getting their needs met. You don't care about that. You care about protecting your ego. So you're okay with them going without. And if they express, well, you got 5 bitches, a busy career, and then in between that you tired, and I haven't got any real masculine energy, real good focused masculine energy in a month. I'm gonna need some other man. Well, you could just leave. I hate that. How about I stay and get other niggas? Invite motherfucking help. If you care about that woman, then you are going to invite assistance with making sure that her needs are met, and off principle is just fucking fair. And you're not doing that. You're not
I
fulfilled
wouldn't
just
say
because
it's an invitation, but the woman should be the chooser. So whatever she's choosing, as a man,
But I say
if you fuck with
when
her,
I say
if you
invite,
love her,
I guess that's more like support. You should support your woman having other
yeah,
men to take care of, in whatever
because
way.
absolutely, because this is the thing. As a man, as a king, you know. It's about delegation. Sometimes you can't be there, right? So if I know I can't be there, it's like if I know I got a case, if I caught a case, right, and I know I got to go sit down for 18 months, I got to go sit down, right, or whatever the case
Hmm.
may be. I'm not going to expect for my woman to sit up and have to suffer and wait for me to show up to get our needs met. Because it's other people, it's other men, it's other women in the community that can bring that forth. I'm truly a believer in that it takes a village. It takes a village. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not always gonna be there. And I don't want no woman sitting up waiting for me. It's good, it's nice to know that's available, but at the end of the day, because sometimes that can turn into resentment, that could turn into a lot of other negative things. So for me, I would rather
But
for
people
her
don't
to
care
go
about
out
that.
there.
But society, I love
What?
what you're saying, but society doesn't really care about her resentment. If she's resentful of her man not being able to fulfill her needs while he has other women and while he has a career and while he has all of this, and some men will say, well, you could just be with the other women, like you could just fuck the other women. Well, nigga, I said masculine energy. I don't want no fucking pussy. And masculine
No, they want
energy
some
is
dick.
masculine energy to testosterone. They want some other dick,
Well,
or they want some other. Even if it's not dick, they want some other testosterone. So
it's not
it's
even
so,
about
but
sex sometimes. It could just be
that's what I'm
a
saying.
conversation.
Testosterone, just being right. They want other
Mm.
intimacy, and intimacy cannot is more than just sex with other men. And society will say, well, she just shouldn't want that. She shouldn't want it. That's the thing. Like, if you really care, you shouldn't want that. And that's what we going back to the beginning. It is a deep misunderstanding about the nature of humans, but especially about the nature of women, because women are not looked at as humans. Men are looked at as more human than women are. We understand your need for variety, touch, kiss, estrogen, different dynamics, but people don't understand women being the same multi-dimensional beings. And women don't get it, men don't get it, nobody gets it. So I always, and in closing this out, I want to give you your flowers. You gave me mine, I'm going to give you yours. Thank you for not being a part of the dumbass patriarchy who dehumanizes women.
Look,
Thank you for doing the
disclaimer.
work and becoming versus being a fucking controlling, insecure, weak, no stupid people. I love that. Thank you for making the conscious choice to do the work to challenge your ego. Thank you for not being a little bitch who's scared of negative feelings like insecurity, but yet expecting your woman to overcome the same emotions. Thank you for supporting and seeing your woman as human and offering unconditional love. Thank you for being a safe place for the women in your life to tell you exactly what the fuck they feeling and not have to worry about being left or judged. Thank you for not just doing the easy thing, which is just doing what all these other basic ass niggas is doing and being their ego, being arrogant. Because guess what? Society would reward you more for that rather than they reward you for allowing your woman to be free. Thank you for not giving a fuck about society's rewards and caring about the actual true joy of your partner. Thank you for giving a fuck about being fair. Thank you for giving a fuck about being humane. Thank you for giving a fuck about the women in your life getting all of their needs met, even if it makes you uncomfortable at times. Thank you for having the courage to work through that discomfort versus just being controlling and weak and basic. Because guess what? You don't have to do any of that shit. You can just be like everybody else. And so anytime I talk to a man who supports their women getting getting the love and support and the dick and the dates and the romance and the companionship from other men while still offering their heart and their vulnerability and their unconditional love. You always need all the flowers. And I don't care if your dick is your balls are dangling to your ankles. Somebody needs to be licking them at all times because that's the type of shit that you deserve for being that man. So I had to just pour into you real quick and say it's an honor to know you. It's an honor that you see me in the light. Because it doesn't really like a basic man thinking I'm great and all of that shit don't really do it for me because it's temporary. Because when I start opening my mouth and you realize I'm not stupid, that's gonna fade anyway. But for men like you who actually see me, actually see women, for you to think highly of me means more than a million basic niggas wanting to date me or thinking that I'm great or whatever. Because you only think I'm great to the extent that you feel like I'm sexless or that you feel like I'm stupid. That's the extent in which you really want me to see me. When you start realizing that once I start, calling you out on some egotistical shit, you run into the basic bitch, you can keep all your admiration. But for somebody like you to see me and to think highly of me, is an honor that I don't take for granted. So I definitely appreciate you and who you are. I'm not saying you're perfect, but I am saying you are eons beyond the average nigga. That's what I'm gonna say.
You know, I thank you, Sydney. When we first started fucking around, like you was young, and to be honest, I haven't really dealt with younger women most of my life. Ever since I was young, since I was in middle school, I've been dealing with grown women. And, now that I'm damn near 50, man, this shit was 10 years ago. But I saw something in you that it was a strength in you that I admired, and I felt like it was something that was so timely, but not just for you. It was bigger than you. This was something shit. This shit was bigger than you. When you did that video and when you went viral, you did that video on your back porch and you was,
Oh yeah.
challenging the status quo. I saw that I wasn't even like, I could look at you like as beautiful as you are. And I wasn't focused on your pussy, your titties, and none of your lips. I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on the message that you was bringing forth for women to step into their power. Because I see a lot of women being caught up in delusion and confusion, and they believe in this bullshit that they've been fed, and they don't really know their true power. You know what I'm saying? And even men too. Like, it's like, man, I tell men in your time, like, you can get more with the truth than you can with a lie. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I haven't lied or withheld information, because I have, but at this point in my life, like, I'm so blessed with the women in my life that show up in my life right now, because I have been transparent, and I put my heart out there, and I'm not trying to control nobody. I'm not trying to possess nobody. I want you to be your greatest version of you. If I can sow into your life and add value to your life, then I'm all about that, because at the end of the day, it's all about the whole. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me. I want to see our community grow. I want to see our community empowered. I don't want to see us out here with broken families and women raising kids by themselves, and, men being alienated because whatever. It's so many things in our community that it's negative, right? But when we can get past our egos and understand the true nature of women. See, I was very fortunate from a young age that I've been able to see the other side. The women have poured into me and shared with me a lot of things. And it's like a lot of men don't get to see that, because they haven't been able to accept the nature of women truly. Like, they have these delusional ideas as well. So when you understand that women are sexual beings, that they probably are more sexual than men. They are probably more tapped in than a lot of men that's out here spiritually. And when you understand that you're dealing with your creator, it's a lot of the game would change for you, but when you out here just operating and you don't understand, you just out here operating haphazardly, you can cause a lot of damage. And like for me, I wanna empower women. I don't want to cause damage to women. I'm gonna be honest with you, whether you like it or not, and I want you to be honest with me because I can deal with the truth. You don't have to tell me that I'm the only one. I know my place. You know what I'm saying? I know that as human beings, we have the capacity to love on multiple levels. We have the capacity to show up on multiple levels. We don't have to be stuck in a box. And so when I see women like you that's out here, that's being a champion for freedom, not just for you, but for everybody. Like, you're not out here telling a man, like, oh, nigga, you only got to be with me. You saying, okay, you could be with other women, but I got to be open to other men. And I think that a lot of women have not been empowered enough to stand in their truth for fear of a lot of things uh, that could happen when they speak their truth, when they dealing with men that ain't ready for it. So I create a space for the woman that come into my life to be free. I don't want the woman to be bound in no type of way because I know what women are, and I know where I came from. So to me, it's like I ain't trying to deal with the fairy tale shit. I want to deal with what's real. So I guess that's just the
Yep.
difference between me. I don't feel
And
intimidated because it's always a bigger dick. It's always a nigga with more money and that thing.
I think the thing broke up.
Yeah, it's coming. It'll come back in a minute, I hope.
Yeah, I'm there.
In a court and everything. Divorce doesn't happen overnight. They talking about, I don't know how long they was married, 16 something plus years. That's a lot of stuff to divide and figure out, and it's a kid involved. So it's not something that's like. Have you had a relationship with the child? No. Okay, so that's completely separate. But it's a kid though. Yeah. It's the kid. I don't think people should involve kids in grown folks' business. That's how I was raised. But whenever that time comes and they both decide, hey, it's time for her to do whatever, whatever, that's what happened. But I'm not. I got my own kids. Do you guys stay together? I would say it's like half and half. He got his place from New York. I have my place in Atlanta. But we're together all the time. Like he's on his way here now. Okay. And juggling the relationship, having not just the being public figures, having what's the Hold on, did you say you want 5 giraffes? I think these giraffe dogs are getting out of control. This is Mochi, Nina, Oxy, Princess, and Ruby, and I'm counting on my amazing team, Guadalupe and Ashley, to